welcome back. Today we're back with an older video. This is my first EVA foam breastplate that I made. This was out of Cami Cosplay's breastplate patterns for the women's side, and I I learned quite a bit. I still am going to use it. I pretty much had to resize the patterns just a bit, like cut off a bit because I was like slightly smaller than the size that she had on there, just by like a little bit, not even that much. So but this was at the time when I still weighed a lot heavier. I was still 135 pounds. So I I definitely will have to size it down a lot more now. I'll probably have to remove an entire panel. It's a breastplate that I actually want to use. I originally was going to use it for like a Dragon Ball Z cosplay, but I'm thinking more of a Power Ranger villain cosplay now. It's just kind of in my house now, and I kind of want to use it for Poisandra from Power Rangers. She's a villain, very cool one, but it's a very intense cosplay. So I don't know. I really like this one though, and I have a lot of Kemi Cosplay's patterns. I totally recommend them, by the way, but we will see. This process was so much fun though. It did take a lot of time and it takes a lot of effort, and you'll definitely have to resize depending on what size you are. As you can see, I'm kind of like minimizing it down certain sizing. I checked to see what size her pattern was, and then from there I checked to see like, okay, what size would I be, because her sizing was in a different country sizing, not US sizing. So I definitely had to kind of like maneuver around. The most difficult part for me was probably the top that I'm working on right now, was the chest piece, because I do have a larger chest comparison to my body, so it was a little bit harder to restructure that. I kind of had to make it a little bit smaller than what she had there, and it was just kind of all over the place. But I definitely recommend this pattern. Like, I could totally see myself working on many different types of cosplays, and I would love to use this chest piece to make a different variation of other cosplays out there for myself. So right now I'm just cutting out the pieces. I'm using craft scissors. I absolutely love these craft scissors. They were pricey, but I got them on sale, thank goodness, on Amazon. But they are honestly the craft scissors I use all the time, and I see a lot of cosplayers use them and a lot of small business owners use them. So it's funny that I ended up getting these. I guess these are like the scissors to go to. As you can see, I'm cutting them out, but leaving the pieces that I had written on there just in case, because I want to make sure to place all the pieces together first, just so I know how everything's supposed to be placed. And then there are all these little notches. I did find out from Kami Cosplay though now, this was later on that she mentioned, there is cosplay pattern notchers. So now I bought one of those, because doing it by hand took absolutely forever. Like, just this was just a tedious process within itself, and now with a notcher I can just go boop 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 and then I'm done, right? So definitely recommended buying a notcher instead of using your scissors. They're not that expensive. You can find them on Amazon, and I totally recommend them. I believe they're like $5 to $10, and they're so worth it, because cutting these little pieces out was very painful. But this pattern was super cool. So it came with the breast pieces separately. You do have to resize, like I said, and you're gonna want to go ahead and take a look at what sizing Cami Cosplay has. So she will mention in the instructions that hey, this is through my sizing, mentions her sizing, or if you're buying the male ones, it's by her, I believe it's her husband's sizing, and you'll just have to upsize or downsize. Downsizing is probably the easiest with her to do. Instead of upsizing, I'm not sure how you're supposed to upsize or how you make these bigger. I know she's mentioned it in the past. I don't know if she ends up using Photoshop or what she does, but what I end up doing with the patterns is I open them in Adobe Acrobat. So I do recommend having Adobe Acrobat and then printing them at 100% scale so they do scale properly, and that way they're not like blown up. You can buy different types of paper, and then like on her website it'll tell you, hey, buy this kind or this kind, and then make sure to use that kind of paper. As you can see, I'm already starting to kind of sketch them out onto EVA foam. I used a silver Sharpie and wrote down the piece numbers on there, and then went ahead and used an X-Acto knife to go ahead and cut them out on a cutting mat. Be very careful of this. You want to go ahead and keep the notches on there. You're not going to be cutting them on the EVA foam because that is for you to match up the pieces when you're gluing them together. This is just the chest piece that I made. I will be showing y'all the entire like just construction of the chest like plate in part 2, but this is just the beginning. So it was the pattern cut out as well as the chest cut out, and just pretty much putting one cup together. And how you can see I'm matching up the little lines. I know this is an older video, so I'm so sorry. My recording was terrible. I did not have the equipment I have now, so thank you to myself for saving up that money on buying that equipment. And thank you so much to my patrons for helping me so much. Y'all are amazing. My videos would not have improved without your help, and my supplies would not have gotten better without your help as well. As you can see, this is just one breast piece, and I will see you on the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.